Hi everyone, Dennis Foley from Acoustic Fields. Today we're going to talk about our foam technology. Our carbon and our foam are two proprietary technologies. We manufacture both, okay? There's two kinds of foam we have to keep in mind. We have open and closed cell. Now, open cell means exactly that. Air can get in each cell. It's open. Closed cell, not so much. Closed cell examples would be couch cushions, the padding that goes in your car seat, anything that we sit on. Closed cell is more for support. Open cell is what we consider the acoustical foam. So open cell is very economical and it's very lightweight. So it's easy to ship. It's easy to cut into different shapes and sizes. It's pretty economical to manufacture, although ours is expensive. And we'll talk about why that is. How do we achieve proper rates and levels? When I first started out testing, I think I tested, 100 corporate boardrooms back in the 80s and 90s. And in those days, it was one male figure at the end of a long corporate, boardroom table, 10 guys on each side, and he would speak. And all 20 people would have to be able to hear, especially the guys in the back. And the rooms were long and narrow. They were really narrow, rectangular rooms. No sound reinforcement, no PA system, just the man speaking. So I noticed that there was always issues in every room I measured in that 125 to 500 cycle range. So that's the range I focused on for our foam. Now our foam goes higher, goes all the way up to 6,300. But I really want to stay focused on this range here because this is the frequency range that most foams get wrong, and ours does not. And you can see here the picture of our foam performance with two of our competitors. And there's reasons for that, and we'll talk about those. But I focused on that 125 to 500 hertz range. Anybody can build a product that absorbs energy over 500 hertz. That's child's play. This is critical, and you can see from looking at the graph here that our competitors don't do it very well, but we do it very well. The red line at the top, that's Acoustic Fields performance from 125 to 500. So you can see the big difference. The smoothness, the linearity, the transitional, there's no steps. It's smooth, right? Okay. How do we get that? We started examining the foams that were in the marketplace, and we saw a bunch of different things that we thought would contribute to the problem, so we focused on those. The first thing we noticed was cell structure. We noticed in most foams in the marketplace that you'd have a patch of cells. If you looked at it under a microscope, then you'd have big open spaces. There was no uniformity and consistency. You can see in this graphic here about our cell structure. Each cell touches every other cell, and they're all joined together. There's no spaces. Spaces are what give you those gaps in performance that you see on our chart there, okay? So cell uniformity and structure, critical. Material density. Our foam weighs about twice as much as regular foam. There's a reason for that. We had to have the density to get that smooth performance from 125 to 500. Thickness. You want a nice linear progression in thickness. Our foam starts, at 2 inches, and we can go 4, we can go 6, we can go 8. We can add in increments above that, and it lowers, the foam's ability on the low end. So we can bring the 125 down to 100, 90, maybe 80, 60. We can down 65, 70 cycles with 6 and 7 inches. So the bottom line here is, it's predictable and consistent, and we can increase the thickness that we use for the foam and get a lower resonant frequency that we want. Gray color. You don't know how many times a day I get asked, does it come in other colors? No, it does not. And the gray color is the color it comes out of the manufacturing process with. I've tried adding pigments and dyes. It has a negative impact on performance, and I won't do it. So we probably don't sell as much foam as we could. I don't care. It's gray. That's all it is ever going to be. Now, if you don't like it, we can cover it with fabric, but your costs will double with fabric, because to stretch the fabric across the face of the foam, which it has to be, if this is the foam, the fabric has to have at least a 1/2 inch airspace. That's not easy. So you got to learn how to stretch fabric across frames. So the bottom line here is, you can make it pretty, but you got to cover it with fabric. It decreases performance by a couple dB because you're restricting airflow. When we do these panels for churches, the DIY process, we sell full sheets, and they build a wood frame around it to create what we call the foam ladder. So with that, you can paint the foam, you can paint the frame, you can do all of those things, but you can use it for fabric too, but it's a special process and your costs will go up. The gray really works well for the video guys, we've noticed. Seems to be a nice neutral color that light does not reflect off of that much. So it's a good product for you guys that are shooting videos and need some acoustical benefit from your treatment too. 2 finishes. It has 2 sides, one smooth and one has a perforation or a roughness to it. How do we get that? We make this in molds, like a cake, baking a cake in the oven. We pour it in the mold, so in one side of the mold is a screen wire. So when it dries, you get that texture. You can barely see it, but it is noticeable, at closer distances. But the color's great. You get the 2 finishes, smooth and textured. And with the DIY products, we sell full sheets, which are 55 by 75 by 2, and you can cut it on a table saw to fit your usage. It cuts really well on a table saw, but you got to keep it flat. Don't let it buckle. You have to have supporting systems to keep it flat as it goes through the saw blade. And move it slow. Don't rush. Move it slow and you'll be fine. So, best foam, we're our second proprietary technology next to our carbon. So our carbon is for low frequency. Our foam is for middle and high frequency. So you get both ends of the spectrum, and definitely both ends that you need in these small rooms, no matter what the usage. The best foam. I hope this helps. Thank you. Thank you for watching this video, and if you liked it, please give us a thumbs up. We also have a newsletter that you can subscribe to, so please do that because we offer special price discounts to only those on our newsletter. And then don't forget about our forum. We have started a forum on our own website where people ask questions, and I usually get a chance every couple of days to look at it. There's an interchange between people on the forum, and we'll give you real answers on a regular basis, so that'll help you. Thank you.